This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by Squarespace. We go to a bill that I cannot believe didn't pass. It's called the Child Marriage Prevention Act. Okay, so throughout the world there are different cultures, nations, etc., that practice child marriage. Girls as young as 10 years old being married off to people who are significantly older. Right? Now, we report on some of these cases, and some of them are beyond outrageous. Now, it applies to girls under the age of 17. That gets into some cultural differences. And so I think if you made a substantive charge on this and said lower the age or something along those lines, those might be interesting comments to this bill or reasons to be opposed to this bill. But all of the top human rights groups in the world, not just in America, but throughout the world, are in favor of this bill. Bishop Desmond Tutu, for example, Archbishop, says, oh, you've got to pass this. It's incredibly important in our battle to combat this phenomenon, because these girls are obviously being sent off at a far too young age, and obviously some people are, taking advantage of them, and we need to stop it. So, and it seems like, come on, it doesn't get any easier than this. What, are people going to vote against this? And it takes almost no money, and so it should be a no-brainer. In fact, it was when it came to the Senate, shockingly enough. It passed unanimously. They introduced it, and then by voice vote, they said, okay, all right, we're all on board. In fact, it was co-sponsored by Olympia Snowe, who's a Republican. But get a load of this. It actually had 42 co-sponsors, introduced by Olympia Snowe, as well as Dick Durbin. But among the co-sponsors is Roger Wicker from Mississippi and David Vitter from Louisiana. Easy, super easy. So what happened? Did it pass? Of course not. It goes to the House, and even though it's got 112 co-sponsors in the House, also partly introduced by Ander Crenshaw, a Republican of Florida, and has a lot of Republican support, no, at the last second the Republicans change their mind and vote no on it. So I said, all right, that's fascinating. Why, right? So they list a couple of different reasons. First one is it costs too much. Are you ready for how much it costs? $67 million. They just gave $858 billion in tax cuts. 67 million costs how much? But if you think that's funny, wait till you get a load of the reality. It actually doesn't cost anything. They moved the 67 million from a different part of the budget. It costs $0. So that doesn't work. Then they go to, well, we're worried that these NGOs, those are non-governmental organizations, charities. By the way, I thought the Republicans were in favor of non-governmental organizations. I thought they were in favor of charities. Apparently not. They say that NGOs might promote or perform abortion totally unrelated to this bill. This bill isn't about abortion. It's not even, there's nothing about birth control. This bill has nothing to do with it. It doesn't go to NGOs that do that at all. It goes to other NGOs. Well, all these NGOs are do-gooder humanitarian charities. Insanity, man. The real reason is, one, they don't like the NGOs because they think some charities in the world actually help people, like they give out condoms so they don't catch AIDS. They hate that, right? Some they think helping getting women a safe and legal abortion. They hate that. Some, not these, right? And plus, they just want to block everything Obama says. Everything, right? So they killed it. Look, one Republican was so frustrated, and this is, for them to break ranks like this is shocking. Representative Steve LaTourette from Ohio got up and spoke in disbelief. Let me give you quotes. He said, look, there's, quote, no new money here. We would have moved the money so the societies that are coercing young girls into marriage, we could build them latrines so they can go to school, or we could make sure that they stay in school so they're not forced into marriage at the age of 12 or 13. But all of a sudden there was a fiscal argument. When that didn't work, then people had to add an abortion element to it. Look, this is a partisan place. I'm a Republican. I'm glad we beat their butt in the election. But we're going to be in the majority next year. But there comes a time when enough is enough. And McCollum's bill was a good bill last night. We should stop the nonsense, approve the bill, and move on. That's a Republican saying that. This is partisanship at its absolute worst. Let's see if the rest of the media can catch on to it and call them out on it. Honestly, I just saw one article on it and haven't seen anything since then. Gee, who's responsible for the partisanship? I can't tell. Is it the Democrats or the Republicans? Oh, let's just call it even. It's not even. It's the Republicans in case after case, and there is no clearer case than this. New sponsor at the Young Turks, Squarespace. They help you build websites. They've got 24/7 support, and they've built some of the largest websites in the world.
They have an iPhone app, so you can edit your website on the go.
TYT promo code. 10% off for the life of your order. Squarespace.